Greetings to the students in our Luke Acts class here at Southeastern University. This is your instructor, Dr. Larry Asplund, coming to you at the very beginning of our great learning experience. I wanted to be able to stop by this evening and welcome you to Module 1. We call them module because they're designed to work either an 8-week course or a 15-week course. Of course, it's 8 weeks for us, so occasionally I'll be referring to week instead of module. They're really the same thing for us. Here in the fall semester of 2021, let's begin by just taking a quote out of the syllabus to give us a quick sense of what our course is all about. A course description. This course examines the narratives of Luke as he engages the person and work of Christ and the nature and work of the church. The role of God's kingdom as expressed through gospel and in the life of the church will be emphasized. So literary dynamics such as narrative and parallelism will also be engaged. The mission and message of the early Christian community expressed in its eschatological commitments through the workings of the Holy Spirit will be addressed. So, I can't imagine us studying anything more important than the person, work, mission, and message of Jesus and how that extended then into the life and the dynamic of that first church. So much for us to learn that is obviously relevant for us today as well. So what a great class. 2 assigned textbooks for this class. By the way, if you've not gotten these textbooks yet, you'll want to do so as quickly as possible. Mine are both on my Kindle. So you can get, a less expensive, more portable version if you want to order it on Kindle. There's a great New Testament theology textbook from Green called The Theology of the Gospel of Luke. So it enables us to explore some of the big themes and the big ideas in the Gospel of Luke. And then Beverly Gaventa has given us a great little commentary on the book of Acts that I know you will also enjoy in our class. The course is structured in the same way as you have no doubt experienced before if you've taken a New Testament class or a Bible class in Southeastern University. There are 3 sections in every module every week for us. The AIM section just gives us the objectives, the learning objectives for that module. And then there's the Learn section, which gives us a list of our assignments, a list of the resources that are available for us in the week. And, it will usually include an important video for us as well. And then finally, there's the Apply section, which talks to us about the graded assignments for the week. And we'll be going over those together every week. So it is my commitment to provide you with a weekly video announcement so we can unpack the specifics for that week. Let's look in general then at the course assessments that are coming up during these 8 weeks together. So you can anticipate the kinds of things that we'll be working on. First of all, there will be 7 discussion forums beginning right away in Module 1 in week 1. There will be a variety of relevant discussion prompts that will get us thinking together. The goal is for you to have your initial post by the end of the day on Saturday, and then to post replies to at least 2 other students by the end of the day on Tuesday. We say the end of the day on Saturday because we want to have an opportunity to actually interact with you. And so those will happen 7 times, modules 1 through 7. And then there will be 7 thematic threads, and these are really structured as discussion forums. And they are, there's a couple of the big ideas that we're going to face, and you will have an opportunity to reflect on them for the week. 7 weeks altogether, beginning with the second week, the second module. And so this is kind of a different assignment in that I am not going to post a grade for you until the very end of the class because it will be a participation grade. I won't grade the quality of your reflections, whatever that might be, but I'll grade your participation. So that will happen 7 times. And then there will be a research, a project really for us in our class, an exegetical paper that will come to us in two steps. The first one is right away in Module 3, where you will be asked to provide an exegetical paper proposal and annotated bibliography. So it's great to start early on this project. Think about a segment, a passage in either Luke or Acts, 5 to 15 verses. And so in Module 3, you will identify those verses, and then you will be asked to list at least 5 sources as an annotated bibliography. In other words, you will post where that source is, etc. But then you will also have a brief comment on it as well. And so that assignment is worth 5% of your final grade, but it's a very, very good opportunity for you to jump into your exegetical paper assignment early. There will be weekly reading journals and logs. This is simply a written opportunity for you to engage with the reading for the week, a specific part of the reading for the week. So you're not just saying, yes, I did read it, but you're also taking time to engage with it, to have some sense of reflection, comment, maybe even questions as it pertains to your reading for the week. This will happen every single week. It's the only assignment that happens every week, and it will be worth 10% of your final grade. There will be 2 PowerPoint presentations narrated, so there will be an audio-visual element to it as well. You know, you can do narration on your PowerPoint application. I'm using a different application, Screencast-O-Matic, to do mine, but it could be done either way. So your 2 presentations will be one in Module 4. It will be a personal interpretation presentation where you will choose a specific passage that you have read and then present 2 to 3 different interpretations of what it means. And so it will be a creative opportunity for you to explore the issue of interpretation. Module 4, worth 10% of your final grade. And then a second one in Module 5, a thematic presentation, where you will choose a specific theme and then you will give a creative presentation of that theme in Module 5, also worth 10% of your final grade. So, you know, we'll unpack them together as we get closer. Then you will have an opportunity to read and review an article. There will be several articles that you will have access to, and you will be asked to write a critical review. So it's not just kind of an informal reflection, but you're digging a little bit deeper into that article. A rubric is provided for you that will enable you to have a sense of our expectations for this assignment, but a good opportunity to just dig into a more of a scholarly kind of an article in our class. Module 7, and it will be worth 10% of the final grade. Then we have the 2 big assignments at the end in week 8, and in Module 8, your actual exegetical paper will be due. It will be those 5 to 15 verses that you chose in Luke or Acts, and you will cite at least 10 sources in your paper. It'll be 10 to 15 pages, formatted correctly. So it's going to be a major assignment, and it will be worth 20% of your final grade. And there will also be a final exam, an objective final exam where you can review the main details of the entire class. And that's going to be coming up in Module 8, also worth 20%. So these 2 big assignments are worth 40% of your final grade. And yeah, I'll be talking about them. We'll work on them together as we get closer. Right at the beginning, there is a student acknowledgement and attendance confirmation survey. It's just kind of a quick, a couple of questions that enable you basically to say, yes, I'm here and participating in the class. This little survey has to be completed by the end of the last day of week 1. Literally, if you don't jump in and do at least this, the registrar could drop you from the class. And so it would be best to do it as soon as possible. In fact, you will need to do that before you can access course content, which you'll want to do right away. So just jump in and do that little survey, and then you will be ready to go. The Module 1 theme simply is an introduction to Luke Acts. So it's kind of, an easy way to begin the class. It gets our feet wet when it comes to the themes, etc. of Luke Acts, and specifically then the Gospel of Luke. The learning objectives for Module 1 is number 1, to demonstrate knowledge of the historical context of Luke Acts. Number 2, to demonstrate knowledge of the authorship of Luke Acts. And those are the background pieces that are always important in biblical studies. Number 3, to identify some of the major themes of Luke Acts that will recur over and over as we go through this class. Number 4, to identify and discuss the structure of Luke Acts, so seeing how it's kind of put together, how the themes are tied together. Finding a great outline when it comes to studying any book of the Bible is very, very helpful. And then number 5 specifically lists the themes that will recur. Discuss notes or annotations of recurring themes that include the following: the role of the Holy Spirit, Spirit experiences, communal discernment, and the role of those who were on the margins in the first century. You will find that those are the themes that will come up over and over again for us in our class. In terms of the Learn section of Module 1, we're being asked to do some readings together in this week. First of all, we'll read the Gospel of Luke. So I think it's a great idea for us to take some time to look at the scriptures together. And then we'll take out our text by Green, read just the first 21 pages, and then we'll also read in the commentary by Gaventa just pages 25 to 59. Dr. David Johnson on the campus of Southeastern University has provided us with an excellent video this week called The Portrait of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke. So I know you will enjoy accessing his video as well. In terms of the apply section, the assignments, the graded assignments for the week, of course, there will be a discussion forum. Our discussion prompt this week is the following: among the many ways to describe Luke Acts, it is a story that spans from the birth of Jesus to Paul in Rome. So for this week, read the Gospel of Luke in one sitting, the way that the Gospel would have been told in the very beginning. And then as you read the Gospel, make notes or annotations of recurring themes that include what we've just looked at: the role of the Spirit, Spirit experiences, communal discernment, and the role of those who were on the margins in the first century, which would have included those who were sick, the poor, children, and women. Make a note of any passages that you do not understand or that make you uncomfortable or from which you maybe do not agree. Whatever notes that might be personal in your reflection. And then share some of those notes, some of those reflections, some of those observations in your initial post by, of course, the end of the day on Saturday, and then you'll have the opportunity to interact with one another. And I know you're going to enjoy that immensely this week and the other 6 weeks that we will be working together. And I anticipate jumping in and participate in your discussion as well. You'll have your first, you remember there's one assignment that will occur in all 8 weeks, the reading log and journal. And it's a written assignment. And so you will be asked to write a 300+ word summary, interaction, or reflection on the week's reading. This week, the assigned readings in green, in the text by Green. Include references, in other words, when you're reflecting, then be sure to include what you're referring to specifically in the reading. And you know, it's not a formal academic writing assignment, but it is a written assignment, so it needs to be thoughtful in that kind of a way. And this will be due by the end of the day next Tuesday, at the end of our study week together. You know, I just love the Gospel of Luke. I love all that Luke provided for us. As you know, he was trained as a physician in the Greco-Roman system. There's some evidence to believe that he was trained when it came to the methods of history, writing and researching as well. So he made a very, very important contribution to us in the Gospel of Luke and in the book of Acts. It's going to be a great adventure for us to explore that together in this coming semester. Please know that I'm always here for you. I recently moved back home to Portland, Oregon from St. Augustine, Florida. But it is my joy to be here, and even though we're 3 hours away, I'm on my computer a lot. So you will find that I'm easy to contact, quick to respond to your questions. If you have any difficulties along the way, please let me know. I'm absolutely committed to you and to your learning in this class. So it's going to be a great class. I'm so much looking for it. Be sure to have just a wonderful week one. God bless you, everybody.